Ryan Finch, a visionary leader, a community advocate, and a friend to many. Today we honor the journey of a man who has built an empire and a legacy of kindness, generosity, and integrity. His tenacity led him to the Ivy Business School at Western University, despite a roadblock that would stop most people in their tracks.
So I was doing kind of a road trip across Canada, interviewing, talking to students and teachers about this new program, but it was only for 20% of the class. And so I'm doing one in Vancouver, and this young man shows up, introduces himself as Ryan Finch, and he's in second year UBC. He said, we don't accept transfer students. You come to Western for 2 years, then you apply. Highly competitive. We're not going to admit someone on a transfer. So we talk for a while, and he talks about what he's doing, and he's involved in sports, and he's got good grades, and he's just such a nice young man. And I thought, I wonder if I could get a transfer student into Western. So the more I talked to him, the more I thought, this is exactly the kind of candidate that if he were at Western, I would take him. So right there and then, we talked for quite a while, and I was impressed with him. He was enthusiastic, he was positive, but he was polite. He was just a nice person. I said to Ryan, you put in a transfer to Western, take this One Business 257 course, and if you get a B average and good participation grades in that summer course, I will admit you to the business school.
And so he reached out to me and he said, could you tutor me through this program? And for him, with he's a prideful guy, all of these things, to go through that shows you how determined he was to get in and to kind of overcome the odds of the other students that had never been able to do that.
He just did what he said he was going to do. I did what I said I was going to do, and he came into the program.
Ryan's drive isn't just rooted in personal ambition. It's about family and relationships. He holds deep respect for those who have shaped him.
I think what his parents did for him was give him really good values, a really good sense of himself, and a lot of enthusiasm for doing other things.
I've noticed and watched as he's grown as a leader is really the ability to connect with people and support people. And I've seen that kind of competitive spirit, that determination, that perseverance grow into a sense of responsibility for something greater than himself.
He's committed to making a difference in the lives of others, both through his business ventures and personal philanthropy. He's been instrumental in supporting local causes that speak to his heart.
He's looking for ways to help the greater London community be a better place for everyone. And I think that's what you see in action.
So we've always done quite a few sponsorships, events, that kind of stuff throughout the years. And great causes, great events. But through COVID, there really wasn't, of course, any of that happening. And so he came up with the Match My Donation idea, and it kind of got the community, involved.
Ryan's determination and vision have driven him to transform Finch Auto Group into a thriving empire. He's expanded the company significantly, with multiple dealerships under his leadership, but he has done so by building partnerships and empowering his team to succeed.
Back in 2009, when we were Brian Finch Pontiac, we had bought in 2 other stores. Another store was a GM store, and GM announced that they were cutting some of the brands and some of their dealers. At the time, we were doing really well. Brian Finch Pontiac was leading in a lot of the metrics, but we were a Pontiac store. And unfortunately, that meant our flagship store in London was one of the ones that got discontinued. At the time, our Chev store in Oakville, which we had kind of just recently purchased, it was able to continue. Yeah, it wasn't a good time, but Ryan took that as an opportunity. We ended up selling our Oakville dealership, kind of brought that capital back to London, purchased what was LMP at the time, and merged our 2 GM stores together. And that was really kind of took a bad situation, or not an ideal situation, and turned it into a great thing.
Ryan's entrepreneurial spirit doesn't stop at car dealerships. He's diversified his investments, including the purchase of Redtail Golf Course and the acquisition of Robert Q.
It's the same, I think, with the golf course. It's a place where people meet. It's where they interact with one another. It's where successful business deals are drawn. So I think it all fits in with his vision.
He runs great businesses, cares for his employees, cares for the community, has a drive that I've never really seen in anybody else before. And he makes other people around him, I think, better individuals because of it.
Beyond his public acts of generosity, Ryan has quietly made profound differences in individual lives. He doesn't seek recognition. He simply believes in lending a hand when someone is in need.
Well, and there was Ryan, and he was like someone I only met once. Like, that was the key point that I always tell people when I tell them the story. Like, I met this person only once in my life, and this was like an accident. And the currency in my country started taking like a dive down, and then the exchange rate started getting really crazy. The money we had budgeted to pay for the fees initially had quadrupled, right? And I was in my final term in Western, and I was like, how am I gonna do this? Because I'm like, if I don't pay the fees, I won't be able to get my certificate from Western. And Ryan popped into my head. And bear in mind, after we had talked, I'd found out that he actually owned like a lot of company. I was like, oh wow, like funny that I ran into someone like that. And emailed him, and I was like, oh hey, like this is my situation, and I know it's a big ask. I know that you don't really know me from anywhere, and I'm just trying to see if it's something that you could do for me, and if it's not, it's fine, but like it's something that I would really appreciate. It would really help me a lot to finish school. And to my greatest surprise, Ryan was like, sure, why not? I'm gonna lend you the money to pay the fees. I was like, what?
This quiet act of kindness speaks to the core of who Ryan Finch is, a selfless leader who gives without expectation and helps others realize their potential.
You are one of the most loyal and generous friends that anybody could ever have, and it's been amazing to watch you become the father, son, leader, friend, and community leader that you are today. And so I'm so proud of you, and congratulations on this amazing achievement.
Ryan Finch, your legacy is built on kindness, vision, and a commitment to bettering the lives of those around you. Congratulations on your induction into the London and District Business Hall of Fame.